if you looked online, black women had no empathy for Shannon at all.
I do not feel bad for Shannon Sharpe. Actually, nail him to the wall.
They weren't feeling it, and you know what?
Men like Shannon Sharpe go after women whose frontal lobe have yet to develop, and then when they prove to you that they are still children, it's how dare she try to manipulate me? How dare she try to get money from me? Why do you think she was f***ing with your old ass?
I don't blame them for feeling that way. They have a justification to feel that way.
And you know what? The black women are like, nah, this is not our fight. This man has openly shown disrespect for black women, so we are happy to sit this one out.
There's a lot of reasons. But I'll tell you, as a black man who's in a relationship with a white woman, that comes with the territory if it's important to you. So in other words, if you get an interview in a relationship with a white woman, there's no quarter for you if it goes bad. With a lot of black women, there's no quarter for you. Right. You're going to get the "I told you so" in spades. That's just one of those hard. There are, and you and I are on the same page here. I think there are hard American racial realities that are immovable about this country. It's in the soil. It's in the, that type of thing.
Why in the world would you have a conversation with a kid? I mean, she's grown, but I'm saying, what are you talking to her about? What are you talking to a girl who's 20 and Caucasian about, and you're an elderly black man? He really thought them muscles made him something special. You a old sucker, dude.
It's like, and I know this is one of your things. It's like using the N-word. A white person uses the N-word, you get no quarter. You can't, you can say, oh, but I meant no. You can't say anything. So it's just like the brother having the white partner.
Right.
That goes bad. There ain't no but it. You just got to sit there and say, okay.
It's important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. And even though I got love and respect for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him, I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt.
When he did that piece, for me, I just felt like, Stephen A, was no need for you to even do this. Oh. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, get to the point. Why would you do this? Are you throwing him under the bus? Or are you saying, hey, you know what? My name is Paul. That's between y'all.
The accuser in question is seeking $50 million. That was confirmed by Shannon Sharpe on that video today. According to the reports, it's somebody that he met in 2023 who was 19 years old at that particular moment in time.
If you his boy, if you his brother, you got his back. If you that guy, if you appreciate him for who he is, then shut up. You shouldn't have did anything, because it brought more negative attention to it, because it looks as if Stephen A may know something that we don't know. And so what Stephen A doing is, okay, why it hurt Shannon more than it helped, and it also just adds to the sliminess that Stephen A is starting to have rub all over his body.
Yeah, well, he's there. I mean, that's who he is. The dude sits down with Hannity, man. That, you know what I'm saying?
That pisses me off. That pisses me off. And he said about Doge. I'm sorry, but that just pissed. He said about Doge.
I'm hoping that when people actually look at Stephen A. Smith's recent comments about Elon Musk and the need to give him a chance, I hope that puts to bed any conversations about this man's fitness to be anywhere even close to being a president of the United States. Smith added that he gets the discomfort with Musk, but argued what they're missing is that you messed up, these are Democrats, that you messed up things so badly over the last several years. Give the man a chance to see what he does. Give the man a chance to see what he does. For anybody who really claims to have the hands on the pulse of the people and to, be this man that everybody just wants to be engaged out there and leading the people would know that what he's already done has destroyed lives.
Look, Stephen A. went to Winston-Salem State University, played under Big House games. Now, look, he didn't get a lot of time and all that, but he's a journalist. And he had 4 years to sit there and learn basketball from an icon, a legend. So when he's talking basketball, I can get with that. But when he goes into politics and he starts regurgitating those faux news talking points, when he starts talking like that, I'm like, shut up. Because what you're doing now is insulting. And I don't want anybody else adding more disinformation or making the job we have to educate people, the people who are fighting for democracy, the people who are about respecting others. I don't want somebody like him making it difficult by enhancing a lie. And so that's the thing that I'm hating with him right now.
I think he's made clear with his comments, at least the way I'm interpreting them, from his comments about possibly running for president and all of that. He has, and he's always talked about this as far as journalism is concerned.
For real, he really said he really wants to run for president. He talked about running for president.
He said he's considering it. He said he's considering it.
Man,
now. Well, okay, wait. Okay. But here's the thing, right? But besides the political pipe dream, he is also talking about. He's always wanted to build a large media empire, a production company, all of that stuff. In order to do that in this society as it stands right now, you have to be like Michael Jordan. For I'll just speak for our generation, for my, because I'm the same age as Michael Jordan, and Stephen A. Smith is probably a few years younger than I am. In that generation, the mindset is you can't afford to burn any bridges. You got to play the middle and all of that, and that's what Stephen A. Smith does. That's why I don't like him a lot of times, because he tries to play both sides, and he does give too much oxygen to the wrong things in order not to, in my opinion, he thinks he's appeasing them, but really he's doing more damage than good. That's the thing. Unlike, say, LeBron, someone like LeBron and his generation, and that generation and younger, I really respect, because I don't think, while they're not politically dumb or they don't set out to burn bridges, they certainly aren't trying to appease that many people either. Maverick and LeBron and his group that he's put around him and the business deals they conduct, they just seem to go about it in a way that doesn't necessarily bend the knee as much as Stephen Smith does. Now, Stephen will say, "Oh, I'm not." He tries to come off like he's this big, I stand on my truth and I stand on myself. That's not true.
No,
because he'll on one hand talk about my brother, and this, and then he'll go on Hannity. And it goes to what you were just saying about it not helping Shannon. The more I found out about this case, the more I was like understanding, not agreeing with that he did it, but understanding why because Stephen Smith, what I'm assuming, again, this is another assumption of mine, but he has more connect. He interacts with Shannon Sharpe on some level. I'm sure that he and they're running those circles, and he may have heard a few stories about Shannon and his dealings with young women out there. So he's probably probably like, oh, I'm not saying this case. I don't know what's going on with this case.
Right. Yeah, he don't want to be mixed up in it.
The comment that I didn't like that he made on that thing I sent you was, or what really caught my ear, was when he was making comments about Shannon having to step away from ESPN and this type of thing. And he said, "Oh, I can say this because I asked permission."
So all I can speak about is what I know based on the reports. And I can speak about ESPN and Disney. to be clear, even though this podcast, this YouTube show is owned and operated by me solely, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be dismissive of ESPN, who employs me in my daytime job on First Take. So I sit here before you today letting you know that they are aware that this is a subject that I was going to broach.
Once again, that's why I said it didn't help. Everything he was doing up there just added questions. And another thing that you stated was how he tries to, not burn any bridges with his statements. I believe if you just say what's on your mind and give the reasons as to why, like when I was talking about that whole thing when Guy interviewed Quincy Jones, and they asked him what he thought about Prince as a piano player. And he broke down what he thought about Prince as a piano player. Look at all the great musicians that this person has worked with. So you're talking about a guy who worked with Herbie Hancock and Duke Ellington and Art Tatum.
Right.
He's going to be like, if you listen to those guys play the piano compared to Prince, Prince is an okay piano player. So with Stephen A., if he's going to say something, if he's going to go on Hannity and he's going to talk politics, don't bullshit and try to keep your master happy and say something that is going to totally piss off the brothers because you should know better. Stephen A., you have a platform where you can be tactful by making him look bad and staying true to who you are. You went to an HBCU. Act like it. Have some respect for what we know is real and what isn't.